welcome to Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Yep, another baseball podcast. Here we talk about baseball like a few friends sitting at the bar.
Awesome.
We welcome your input and look forward to your comments. In our 8th episode of Season 3, we will touch on the topic of RSNs Part 2. We talked about the future of RSNs and the revenue from it back in Season 1, Episode 6, RSNs. And it looks like we need to revisit this to see how and what is developing. Alrighty, have you watched much baseball this year? Major League Baseball's media rights deals for 2026 are all over the place, requiring fans to subscribe to 6 different platforms for complete coverage, which can cost over $100 a month. In other sports leagues, they often have more consolidated broadcasting agreements, making access simpler and less expensive for the fans. So how is this a good thing in baseball? We've talked about the bankruptcy of Diamond Sports Group, which owned Bally Sports Network, and led to a flood of new deals concerning local media rights across Major League Baseball. Many teams are still exploring new broadcasting models. Traditional RSN contracts are really no longer sustainable. The shift from cable to streaming has reduced the number of subscribers, leading to decreased revenue from RSNs. There you go. It's all about money, right? Major League Baseball is considering a centralized model for local media rights, and this could help stabilize the revenue in the long term. However, the immediate impact, of RSN failures have left many teams scrambling to adapt to multiple things. It's insane. As people cut the cord, the economics of regional sports networks, they don't make sense anymore. With fewer customers, cable companies decided that paying the fees regional sports networks wanted just didn't make financial sense. Now, the great thing about cable for the regional sports network is that even people who never watched the channel were paid for it. Unfortunately, non-sports fans have cut the cord at a much higher rate than sports fans. So that means, money, right? Long-term contracts from regional sports networks was structured that had pretty much nothing to do with how the networks performed. But now it means that the networks are locked into long-term contracts based on revenue and profit, which is totally different. So what do we do now? The only thing that seems certain is that the way you watch your local team is going to change. Teams and leagues have already dumped the regional sports networks and done many different ways. Even looking at Major League Soccer, yeah, I know, I hear you. Soccer is a major league. Well, they got rid of local broadcasts entirely in favor of a new streaming service, and all games with no blackouts are on Apple TV. It's kind of interesting. The economics of the service, well, they haven't turned out too well. This year, their specific service is totally gone. All games will air through Apple TV Plus, which also carries Formula One and Major League Baseball's Friday Night Baseball. Several NHL and NBA teams have moved their games entirely to over-the-air networks. In primary markets, this has been pretty well for the fans because a $25 antenna can get you all the games. And these stations are almost always on basic cable. In outer markets, however, that's where everybody gets screwed. So Major League Baseball and the NBA have both discussed launching a streaming RSN. How exactly this would look, I'm not really sure. But Major League Baseball and the NBA would sell most of its local teams' rights to a streaming service like Prime Video or ESPN Unlimited. This model could eliminate blackouts, which we all hate. So that's another thing that we got to watch. So the RSN deal, well, it's unclear in this scenario if or how games will be distributed to local TV. It's also worth pointing out that while regional sports network, yes, it is dying, it's still thriving in some places. Go figure, right? Now, cable can still be a lucrative business. Teams, especially in the big markets, they don't even want to hear this shit because, well, after ending their agreements with FanDuel, the Los Angeles Angels and the Atlanta Braves have both created new regional sports networks. The Yankees are celebrating 25 years of Yes Network. The economics of these deals matter a lot. And this is a case where the RSN's economics differ widely by market size and the sports. While Adam Silver and Rob Manfred, they talk frequently about making it easier to watch the games. Don't take those claims at face value. Major League Baseball and the NBA are still in business at their core. For fans, a streaming RSN with games frequently over the air or on basic cable would be the best option. However, that model is unlikely to be as lucrative as a standalone streaming RSN, which would be for these leagues. So when push comes to shove, money tends to win out. Of course, you know the rule. Fans get screwed. That is the truth behind the demise of the RSN. Major League Baseball wants the RSNs to fail because eventually all teams will make more directly streaming to the fans. Major League Baseball, MLB TV, is primarily for out-of-market games and offers a streaming option without local blackouts for many teams, while regional sports networks broadcast local games and are often the most viewed programming in their areas. RSNs provide daily access to local teams, making them, well, the best for the fans who want to watch their games regularly. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, what the hell is MLB TV? Well, that's the league's out-of-market streaming service, a digital platform that allows customers to watch any Major League Baseball game not airing on national channels or on local channels in their market. It also allows fans of a number of teams to watch their clubs in-market games on special plans, but only if those teams do not currently have an alternate regional sports network or partner to air those games. Big thing. How much does it cost? Major MLB TV will cost you about $150 to stream all out-of-market games from every team in the league throughout the season. Now, MLB.TV also has a monthly option for about $30 for viewers who want the flexibility of being able to cancel through the season. Now, customers who live in a market where Major League Baseball has taken over production and distribution of local games, they can purchase a different kind of subscription to MLB TV for about $100 a season or $20 per month. They can add out-of-market games from every other team for, an extra $100. That brings the price to $200 with a $40 all-in option as well. So what's the reality there? Holy shit. So Major League Baseball's season this year, the media rights spread across national games and 6 platforms: NBC, Peacock, Netflix, ESPN, Fox, TBS, and Apple TV+. Holy crap. Fans who want national coverage may need to spend $100 plus per month in streaming and TV subscriptions before local team broadcasts. Once again, how is this better for the fan? What was once included in an RSN is now a streaming service costing the fan more dollars. Period. The strategy maximizes media revenue for Major League Baseball, but makes following the sport more complicated and expensive for fans. Simple as that. Are we surprised that streaming is replacing RSNs because it's more profitable for the teams? In the scheme of who gets screwed, once again, the fans. You have to say, geez, that worked out well for the teams. Almost like designating the top 10 teams who spend and the bottom 10 teams who do not. It's ridiculous. So the average fan can deal with over-the-air games on his TV and national games. The more avid fan will want to include whatever his local team is offering to watch the games, and more than likely a streaming service or two. The diehard baseball fan will end up subscribing to multiple platforms to watch his favorite team year-round. Simple as that. So, when the media and the baseball start the propaganda rounds concerning the CBA, lockouts, and RSNs, at least you know who is full of shit. The fan will have to ride this out and decide, how much do I have left to support my team? That will be the final question. Alrighty. I was wondering, have you watched a lot of games so far? Have you noticed one thing? What did we call last year? The year of the imploding bullpens. And I said that a lot of teams are going to just change out. Relievers are going to go to different teams. Well, are the bullpens better so far this year? You got to ask. Well, the top 5 teams with their bullpen, the Cincinnati Reds have made a major improvement in their bullpen, as they have the best bullpen ERA at 2.67. They're followed by the surprising Texas Rangers at 2.73, the Seattle Mariners at 2.88, the Detroit Tigers at 2.95, and the San Diego Padres are still hanging in there with a top 5 bullpen ERA of 3.04. Now, we know how the Tigers imploded last year, and pretty much the Reds did too. So this is interesting that the Reds are playing so well so far this early part of the season, and it's a lot to do with their bullpen. As far as the bottom 5, some things just always look familiar. The Washington Nationals have the worst bullpen again in the major leagues with an ERA of 6.17. The Astros are showing their age with an ERA of 6.12. The Tampa Bay Rays at 5.99, surprisingly. The Chicago White Sox at 5.67. And the team that needs to get the award of most disappointing with the talent they have, the Kansas City fucking Royals, are at 5.62, the 5th worst team ERA in baseball. Are you kidding me? What the hell? Are they becoming the new A's? Speaking about the A's, they haven't hit for shit yet this year, but they're playing well lately in that division. I don't know. Some teams are still struggling. We will watch this topic because it's a favorite of ours and see how it changes this year. Well, I apologize too. It looked like I skipped this a week with our production. I guess I just can't count, But I think that's a wrap on today's show. A quick, easy one to remind you about RSNs, because it's been hard finding teams where they are on the dial. It's crazy, right? I hope you enjoyed our 8th episode of Season 3 of Mo's World, the Baseball Podcast. We are in our in-season schedule for releasing new episodes every other Friday. So our next episode, I promise, will be on May 1st, 2026. Each episode is approximately 20 minutes long. Thank you for listening, and spread the word to your friends. In the meantime, ask yourself, whose world is it? It's Mo's World.